Buddy the dog, what are you doing, pal? Acting goofy? Sure. He probably doesn't know what to do with himself because it keeps raining. It's raining kind of right now. It just finished raining more. All we know is rain, but we've got more work to do, so we're gonna get started right after this. All right, welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Ross the Oliver Man. That over there is Buddy the dog. That over there is a 5100 white planter that we've been working on. And I'm looking here. Yeah, where am I looking? People keep saying that there is a loose bolt on this wheel, and I am not seeing it. I do not see. Somebody said check where it bolts to the frame. I don't know. Why am I missing this? If you can see it on camera, I should be able to see it in person. But either it's right in front of my face, or I don't know, friends. I guess I'll have to wait till it just falls off, because I sure don't see it. Maybe it'll become apparent if I keep it in the back of my brain that, you know, that's happening. I don't know. I don't see it. So I guess comment again if you see it and know exactly where it is and can describe it, so that even a small-brained person such as myself could understand it, because I'm scratching my head on this one. But that's fine. That's fine. Anywho's, we want to hook it back up to the tractor. I only unhooked it so that I didn't get red paint on the tractor. But there's a couple more operations to complete here. Number one, I want to put those hoses in that go to the marker system. Even though the markers aren't going to be used right now, I want the hoses ahead hooked up, so that that's one less thing to worry about later on. I had a viewer reach out to me that said he had a set of markers and he'd bring them to me sometime, so hopefully that happens. I mean, yeah, that would be cool if that takes place, so we'll wait and see on that. But for now, I want to get my hoses fixed up. I got my 2 bushings to put the tips on the hose, because 1/2-inch pipe thread to 1/4-inch pipe thread, you know, they don't usually play nice. So of course what you want to do here is leave your cordless drill out in the rain. That's good for it. I don't care what they tell you at school, it's good for it. And I guess we're going to spend the next little bit hunting up thread tape, because I just used my last little bit off that roll. And we're apparently going to struggle. There we go. All right, I'm going to go grab another roll of thread tape, and then we're going to try to make this happen. I bought like 40,000 rolls of thread tape by accident that one time, so I should always have thread tape for a while. Somehow I'm still out. See, it's actually raining right now, but I'm just working through it, because if I don't, I feel like we're not going to get anything done. Now that I say that, it's getting kind of out of hand. Like it's raining quite a bit. So that's fine. Well, I need to tighten those up. I'm probably going to give up. I said I was going to work through the rain, but it's picking up and it's raining more, and I don't see any reason to get soaked. But if we just feed stuff through where it all needs to go, one of them's going to go there, One of them's gonna go back there. So we just need to get all that stuff broke loose. I don't know. I shouldn't have fed it through the tongue. That was a mistake. I should have waited till I had the hoses tight so they could spin, because the ones I'm putting in do not have swivels, which is fine. Swivels are just one more place to leak, but I don't know. The marker valve is nicely protected down in here. However, it's also quite a struggle when you're not using the correct tools, you know, like the right size wrench. I wonder if that's loose enough that it would, nope. Oh! Come on out of there, you. Come on, you. Now maybe we're getting somewhere, I said, as it quit helping me. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Play nice, baby doll. Okay, we need to get better tools. We can't do it. And by better tools, I mean something else that's equally unsuited for the job, like the red pliers. This just is not, in this frame, I basically need short wrenches, I think, to make it happen. Okay, let's skip ahead again. Let's see if we can get this out of there. If we can get this back one out. This isn't a very good angle, is it? It's coming out though. Well, there's one. Now I just need to finish tightening that one in the marker valve. Let's try another inappropriate tool, but it's a little bit shorter, so it might, you know, go in the frame better, he says, as he equally struggles just as much as before. It's one of those things, friends. One of those things. Come on. All right, we're gonna call that a win. Oh, I should probably tighten those down, like I said I was going to, and then didn't, because they're not tight. So let me do that real quick, and then we'll go on to the next phase here. All right, that's more better. Now, over here in the old little buggy here, I found on a Facebook auction site a kind of rough owner's book. I have a nice one in the house, but this one is good enough I can just leave it out here in one of these boxes so that I got it with me all the time. But what we need to do is set it up to where we want to plant. And somewhere in here is a better seed chart. Unfortunately, the chart on the box is about wore out, and they do sell that sticker again, but it's pretty expensive for a sticker. So we're just going to try to wing it here. But we're on 38-inch rows, and there you go, now you can read along. 38-inch rows, and I want my population somewhere in this neighborhood, around 30,000. Cousin, I think, was planning at 34,000. The seed dealer told me that the good population was 28,000. So I'm thinking somewhere's in here, you know, 30 to 31 would probably be what we want. And then these are, I believe, 30 seed cell plates. So if we went with this one, our seed spacing would be 5.5 inches apart. So that's fine. Maybe we'll take it up to 31,000. I don't know. If he was at 34, then he was up here. So I'm willing to try it. I think when I was planning on my other one, I think I was down here, like at 26 to 28 on that one. Because who knew that? Because Grandpa, when he was planting corn, he was down like 20,000. So I kept raising it, and he kept getting aggravated because he thought we were planting too much, but I kept getting better yields, so who's to argue with that? And so that's what I'm going to try. If it doesn't turn out this year, I guess next year we'll tweak it to something different. But so we need to just basically pick a setting here and go with it. Maybe I want to go 30,000, then I can plant at 5.5 miles an hour. I don't know. I'm a toss up between those two. So if I want to do 31,000, 5.2 miles an hour, 5.2 inches seed spacing, I would need 25, 22, 28. 25, 22, 28. Let's see what it's set up like to start with. How about that? How about we see what it's like, and then we go from there. So that was 33 2-sprocket. Now the counter shaft triple drive sprocket. Wait, what? Counter shaft. Oh, I bet. Okay, whatever. Let's see what this one is. Okay, let's see what this one is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. 28. So that one's not going to work for anything that we're trying to do. And then that is the feed shaft down there. What's this one? Let's see, 1, 2, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. I didn't even know 40 was a choice. It is 40. Okay, so 28, I think this was 28, what did I say? 28, 25, and 40. Something like that. That would have put it at, that would have put the population around 25,000, and that ain't gonna sail for me. So this one needs to be, to do what I want. Is this a 22 2-sprocket? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. That's a 24. Counter shaft, triple sprocket, the driven sprocket. Oh, okay, okay, okay. I think I know what I'm doing now. I think I looked at the thing wrong, and I got the two flip-flopped in my brain. This is the countershaft triple sprocket, which is driven by the wheels. So that's why they call it driven. Then this would be the countershaft drive sprocket, which drives the feed shaft, which is a driven sprocket. So this one here is driven by something else. So that's why they list it that way. So it needs to be a 25. What did I say this one was? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So we need to be on this one. Need to move this to the small one. Then 22 and 28. What did we say here? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Nope, it needs to be this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay. Now we're cooking. 25, 22, and then that back one needs to be 28. So, if we do this right, I really should get the red pliers. Well, now you're getting too hot, but basically what we're gonna do, and I think the back one's already loose, we're gonna jump this chain over. We're gonna jump it over onto this other thing. Oh, I need to get, as I do that, I need to get more slack in my chain. Let's see here. Okay, well. There we go. And that's self-centered against that other deal. We can pull this clip in to help hold it so it doesn't wander all over the place. All right, you're getting too hot, but if I read this right, I have 25 here, 22 here, 28 back there, which should put me around 31,500. And I'm gonna go with that, right or wrong, and see how that does. That's more than I used to plant when I did it, and it's less than cousin planted. So we'll start there and we'll see what happens. And we'll just see what happens, you know. There's no, what we'll do is when we actually get corn, the seed here, then we will test it like in the driveway. We'll, you know what I'm saying, we will put the thing down in the driveway and plant a little bit and see what it's like. That's how we always used to do it. Try it out and see what we got. But that's a good starting point, and we'll figure that out later. All these parts, I got parts in every little box now. That's fine, that's what we want. I did end up ordering, which is silly, foolishness probably, but I ordered a new electrical harness from the seed sensors to the front of the planter. It wasn't that much money, and I thought, hey, maybe a lot of my trouble is in this joint right here. So if I eliminate that from the equation, then two things are good. And then what'll happen is, if that monitor's still not good, I'm gonna see about getting an adapter from this harness to the monitor that's in that 6 row. And then, you know, with adapters, you can essentially make anything work with anything. And then we're gonna have versatility is the word I'm looking for. Now, this sad sack, I haven't put the floorboard down because I didn't want to, what am I trying to say? I didn't want I thought about cleaning this grease and stuff out of here with the power washer. Somebody asked about this yellow paint. I don't know that that is Minneapolis molding paint. That might be primer paint. However, it is possible that it's Minneapolis molding paint because they didn't operate like that. If you needed a piece, you just took what you got. I mean, if today you needed a floorboard for a green one and you didn't have any green ones ready, but you had a yellow one sitting there, you painted it green and put it on the tractor and sold it. So they weren't too particular about that. I mean, you'll see some like handles. I have handles with yellow under, I have handles with red under it. That's just the way she goes. We need to make this bracket, but what I want to do now is back it back up to this planter and hook it up, and then we'll plug away with the rest of this. Can't imagine the floorboard being covered with tools is the problem. To get double steps for this tractor too. Those double steps make it so much easier to get on and off. Oh yeah, that's not the right pin either. We should probably address that before. Nope, we're just gonna leave it. All right, now hooking these up. Well, these two little ones would go on the outside if we had anything, but we're just going to plug them in to keep it all clean. And then these have to be put in a specific order, thus the zip tie, so you don't ever forget. Now, turn this on, the blower should run. That's good. If I get to the other side, let's release the brake. We can kick it off of the jack too. The jack which does not jack anymore. Wow, I got that right. Up is up and down is down. Sweet. There we go. What a beautiful rig right there. Somebody commented and said, why such a big tractor on this planter? Yeah, you could pull that with something smaller, but why can't I pull it with this? Plus, I've got the hydraulic system that I want to be able to run everything. Eventually, I'll probably pull this with the 1655, and then I'll have to cobble up the other open center Power Beyond, but whatever. But then this one essentially is ready in case that 1855 would break. I could hook this to the soybean planter or this planter, and that's what I was after the whole time. I was really wanting to have a spare. You still there? Yeah. I'm trying to get this crappy jack that doesn't work out of there. And this is another thing I have learned, and I'm gonna have to check up on. I don't want to throw this away yet because I bet you the new one I get won't match up with the size things that are on here. So we need to be mindful of that. This isn't going to come out unless I drive away from it. Come on. There. Yeah, I had another old jack laying around, and it wouldn't fit over the things welded to the planter. So I need to do some research on that and see if this brand of jack comes from the store with that, in which case I'll just buy one of these or something. So I didn't throw this on the scrap trailer when I figured that out, because we might need might need to cut this off and weld it to the new one. Oh, found a can that wasn't quite empty. That's fine. All right, where to go from here? Well, I'm getting kind of tired of everything all scattered out all over the place. So maybe put some of the tools away, which will require me to finish what I started. In other words, if I want to wash that out, the time is now, which isn't a problem. The power washer's over here in the front yard. So I could just drive in the front yard and wash it off and put all this back. Also sorting which tools go where, because I got multiple sets of tools and I tried to keep everything organized, but nothing ever works. For me, it always gets jumbled around. Here's a piece of metal I found in the scrap. It's technically probably too big for what I'm doing, as in thickness wise, but I don't know. We're gonna roll with it. Yeah. Don't you think while I have this up, I might as well just wash what I can see, just to make it that much more clean, even though I'm not gonna take the rest of it loose or any of that. I just kind of feel like that would be the nice thing to do. See, if I look over this tractor, I can find more things that probably should be attention, like this. Should we just leave that and overlook that? I don't know. But we're on the downhill slope. Whenever my new wiring harness comes, we'll put it down for keeps. For now, let's just stuff this one in there. And the only reason all right, you keep getting too hot, but what I was saying is, the reason I bought that new harness also is to keep my seed sensor connectors nice, you know, because if they're just hanging out in the open, they're gonna get full of crap, and then eventually they won't work and they're brand new. So we might as well plug away at that too at the same time and just get that lined out so we can actually enjoy the stuff we paid for. Now, it looks like it's gonna rain anytime, but we're gonna plug on. I got the power washer over there, so we're gonna drive the tractor in the driveway. Like it's gonna rain us out anytime. So we're gonna do the right thing and park right in the middle of the driveway. Let's just lay this up here. I'll just climb up here and give it a quick rinse down, and then that will be that. I guess I can let you watch. You're gonna get soaked, but all right. You ready to get covered with mud or grease or whatever? Yeah, you're not gonna get much out of this other than dirty. That's about as good as we're gonna do instead of going in the reverse direction and causing damage. So we're gonna walk away. I think we got everything clean. See, we already caused damage. My fresh paint on the tongue is covered with mud. But yeah. Looks pretty. I'm glad I bought the extra extension hose for the pressure side, because that came in handy. Like right there, I didn't have to unfurl more garden hose and go longer. I could just, you know, screw on the extra pressure hose, and also it'll let me reach the higher up points on the house. All right, so now that we've done that, oh, we didn't even get all of it, did we? Oh well, I'm not stringing it out anymore. We got a lot of it. I'm sure we'll have it apart again at some point. Let's just go ahead and put this together. Then we can move on with our live see. I don't remember which one of these went where. I think that one was this one. Quite honestly, I'm thinking about not putting that other one back in there. You know? I don't know. I guess I'll put it back in there. It's a real pain to get to. Oh, we can, though now, this time, we can start it up, put the arms down. Oh yeah, what a beaut. All right, let's see if we can manhandle our arm in there and get that started. It's a real trick, friends. I already dropped the bolt, so I think we're gonna just forget it. It is, unless I can find the bolt back real quick. Oh, it's raining now. That's cool. No, I dropped that bolt somewhere, and it's left the chat. So that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate for that bolt, because I ain't going looking for it. I'm not looking for trouble. Trouble finds me. Yeah, I don't even see where it could have went. I know for a fact that one of those will hold that plate. It can't escape. So we're just gonna tighten this sucker down here. Try to get this out of the driveway before it starts pouring down rain, which it's already pouring rain pretty good. But I'll just back it out over here somewhere again, and then we can work on our bracket. That's got to be done. I want it done before we do something stupid and break this off. This is our work area for a while. I don't know what I was making this with this plate, that it's already got a bend in it, but that's not going to be adequate for us, I don't think, now. I mean, I guess we could modify it and make it work, but we missed the boat. If that would have been a little bit different, we could use it. I guess we could heat that up and make it longer and go, but that's gonna be a lot more work than if we just start over. And what we're gonna do to just start over is pick a place here. I think I already had made a mark. Pick a place to bend it 90 degrees, and we'll start that way, and then we'll start whittling this down until we have something that's a more appropriate shape. Like I said, I really wish that, I don't know, doesn't matter. I'll go do some bending and then we'll bring you back. All right, isn't that pretty? That's just a wonderful color scheme. All right, before my bus route, I got us this far. This is not the final draft by any means, but I hacked it down to a more manageable shape. So my next step now is going to be drilling 2 holes for bolt holes to mount it to the tractor, and then we'll have to drill our 2 holes. We'll bolt it down tight, and then we'll try to make marks and whittle this down some more, because we don't need this obnoxiously long deal here. We'll come at like an angle and we'll cut some of this away, and then we will drill the 2 holes that go into the valve, the very last thing. So I guess to start with, I need to use inappropriate tools to do inappropriate things. And I will drill a couple of, I believe those are 3/8 holes, actually, because of the way that they are. And then I'll bring you right back. All right, let's pull these out. Hopefully no sadness here. That caused us sadness on the 1855 that time. We were trying to do something and twisted off a bolt, and it was bad, because these bolts go all the way through. They're not just like an inch long, they're like 3 inches long, because they go through this cast spacer piece that has the pressure, the passageways for the 3-point pressure if you had external lift cylinders. That's what that plug is on the back. I guess I should show that too, because everybody always asks about that and they don't understand. And I'm losing my patience, so maybe it'd be a good time to take that field trip right now. Come on. Let's see. We gotta put this on and then take this off again, and then gotta do this several times. We might have to contour our piece to fit in there better too. Because I think I got it a little bit wrong. That's not right. What's going on here? Won't even go through that hole. I gotta egg shape that hole a little bit, I think, and then also grind the backside of this plate a little more rounded so that everything goes in there. But I think this will essentially work. I need to flatten that out a little bit more maybe. I think we can pure pressure this into the right shape and it won't be too bad. Just a little bit of tweaking. Let's field trip it back here. This is the plug. People see this and think, oh, there's your return for your Power Beyond. No, that is under pressure when you pull up on the 3-point handle. That, if you had external lift cylinders, your hoses would come from there and tell them to go up. So you cannot plumb into there. Let me do a little more homework here. A little contour work, a little hole refining, and then we'll put it on again. I'd like to have this bolted down solid, and then I can see what's got to happen. I'm afraid that, well, I don't have to be too afraid. It needs to be different than what it is. Yeah, see, I think it's gonna be just fine. It'll pull in there. This piece of metal is soft enough we can manipulate it however we need. We need to pull that down a little bit more probably. Cut down my corners because this is all rounded, radiused. I shouldn't probably do this yet, but I'm gonna trim off a little chunk of this so it's more manageable too. And I'll bring you back in a minute. All right, let's see how this goes. Come on. Come on. All right. How we doing? Well, we're coming out pretty good. I forgot my hammer, but that's okay. Our next affair is going to be figuring out how to put a couple holes in that. Yeah, it's going to be a struggle, friends. It was last time. We know that they need to be along this plane here. But all we can do is rough it in, and I believe they are 1/4 inch holes. So we'll take this back off and go again. And then after we get those holes done, then we can shave off the rest of the metal we don't need. On the other one, I ended up having to change it once before I was done, and then it didn't come out just quite right, and it's very close to the edge, but I think it'll be okay. See, it's going to pull down some when you tighten it, so that's why it's going to have to be slightly off. Let's see what yeah, I hit it pretty close, I think, where we're supposed to be. I don't have a 1/4 inch drill bit here. I'm afraid this is going to be, that actually would probably be a better idea, because that'll give me a little bit of slop in it. And I need to get some 1/4 inch bolts to do that anyway. So let me go back to the drill press, drill my holes, and then we'll go from there. All right, let's hope this is the final rendition of this. I know it won't be, but it's nice to think that it is. See, if I put that there, I put that there, can I put the other two in there? Well, I can probably put that one in. I should have probably not have gotten rid of everything like I did yet. Now the phone's gonna ring. From Merman, Indiana, never heard of that. Definitely a scam. There we go. Boys, I think she's gonna work. I think once I tighten that down, I mean, should we go for broke and tighten it up and then take it all loose again, and then, you know, just to be sure. All right, test fit complete. That will work dandily. And some of you are gonna say, that's stupid, and why'd you do that? Well, it's mine. I can do what I want. And yeah, I could have cobbled it up. I could have taken 2 pieces and cut them and then welded them in the middle or something to make it go just so easy or whatever, but I think that's a less obvious bracket here, the way I did it, you know. Once it's painted up and on there, average Joe's gonna walk by and not know that's not supposed to be that way. Whereas if you have one that's all cobbled up with weld and nonsense, you know, anybody can see that was some kind of farmer add-on. So I think I'll take that back off. I'll clean it up and meadow greenify it, and then our Power Beyond should finally be complete on this planter, or on this on this tractor, it'll be just like the other one, and we should be good to go. So that's the final thing that needed to happen to make this go. I tried to round off all the edges too, so it looks a little bit nicer. But that should be what we're after. We got Power Beyond on the tractor. We got a planter that's ready to roll. So as soon as nature decides to cooperate with us and give us some days where it's, you know, gonna dry, that would be nice. Because we've had probably between, I don't want to know, in the last month, 10 and 20 inches of rain probably more in some spots, probably less in some others, but it seemed there like for a while, every day of the week I was dumping out 1 3/4, 2 inches, 1.5 inches, one right after the other. That adds up pretty quick, and yeah. So anyway, I'm finally glad I can say that this is ready to go to the field. I mean, pour seed in and take her for a rip. So I'm going to call this video here, and I'm just hoping that we have good success. You know, when the time finally comes, I shouldn't have to worry about this planter. Does it still have things that could be done? Yes, but everything on here should last us this season, and we can make it more better as we go on. But the tractor's ready to roll, the planter's ready to roll, and the tractor, most importantly with the Power Beyond, is now capable of helping us with the soybean planter should there be a problem with the other tractor, you know, interchangeable now. And that was something that I wanted ready to go, which I didn't have. I was kind of on risky time, you know. If something would happen to the 1855 and I was in the middle of planting soybeans, I would have had to do some changing to make that other planter go. But now I've got two that can do either one. So I think I will also set up at some point in my career the 9650 for this, and also, but not limited to, perhaps the 4150 for Power Beyond, because it is essentially a row crop tractor and it would pull that soybean planter probably pretty handily. So I'm not averse to having that rigged up for this too. But anyway, after much to do and many weeks of working, we finally have a rig that's ready to go. So I have to say that we're in good shape as far as I see it. And until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.